Again a very hearty welcome to my class 10 student. Now we will start the topic student, that is refraction concept, which already I have completed. Okay, refraction concept which already I have completed of the glass slab, right? Glass slab. Now we will start the refraction concept of an student prism. Clear? The refraction concept of the prism. Now first of all we will understand student what is prism and how it will show the refraction phenomenon. Clear? If you have remembered student, refraction, again I will repeat the concept of refraction. It is the bending of light when it travels from one medium to another. Means if the medium changes, bending of light take place, and when there is a bending of light take place, student, it is a concept of refraction. Clear? Okay. Now first of all we will understand what is student prism and how it shows the refraction phenomenon. Clear? A prism is nothing but student, it is a transparent medium bounded by 5 plane surface, okay, with triangular cross sectional area. Clear? If you are seeing this prism student, again I will show you why 3D structure. See, this is completely look like a prism. Clear? If you will see student, this is the one refracting surface, okay, this is the one refracting surface, this is another refracting surface, and if you go to the base, this is the base of the prism student, where you cannot see the refraction phenomenon. So basically we have two refracting surface, one is like this side, another is this side. Clear? Okay, now we will understand how it show the refraction phenomenon. So for that we have to go to very simple small derivation student. Means we will consider one prism, okay, you can give the name A, B, C, right? So this is the medium which is air student, this is the glass, and again this is air. Okay, what I will do, I will take one incident ray of light. Clear? One incident ray of light through which the light passes. Okay, we will consider an incident ray of light. Incident ray of light, see, this is the incident ray. Okay, now you draw one normal, very clear manner, you can able to draw one normal student. This is the normal which I have already drawn for you. Okay, so this is the normal student, and when it changes in medium, see, this is the air and this is the glass, so it is changing in medium, and you all know that air is a rare medium and glass is a denser medium. So what happened, it will bend like this. Okay, you take like this, it is a bending phenomenon. Clear? So it bendings take place, rare to denser, it bends, and if you want to see the more clarity, please elongate this line. Okay, this is the elongation line of L of incident. Now what happened, again it moved from glass to air, then again you take a bending position like this. Clear? So this you have to remember. Now again you have to elongate, please see carefully, elongate this line. Okay, yes, this you have to elongate over. Now second thing, you have to draw very simple manner one normal ray. Clear? Here I can draw one again a normal ray. Clear to you student? Please check it very carefully. One normal this one, another normal this one incident light, refracted light, and again a refracted light. Clear to you? Now if I want to, because as this diagram is not so much clear, you can see in your textbook also, see, which I am telling to you. See, this is a diagram student, very simple diagram which you can observe in your textbook also. And here one happens student, this is the incident ray of light, this one what I am talking about, this is the normal, and from incident there is refraction phenomenon, so light is bending again, and again when it moves from glass to air, again light is bending. So how many bending is take place? 2, because as you know, this is AB is the one refracting surface and AC is the another refracting surface. Clear? Then you see the ray, this is the refracted angle, this is refracted angle, but once you are elongating your incident and the refracted light, one point is come as M, and this is the point of angle of deviation. Means this is the process how much deviation take by a ray that you have to find out. Clear to you? if I will show you, this is the first angle of deviation for first ray and this is the second angle of deviation for second ray. Clear to you? Okay. Now one thing you have to understand, student, angle I1 is nothing but delta 1 plus R1 and angle I2 is nothing but delta 2 plus R2. Okay, which I will mention here. So your angle 1 is how much? You see the diagram carefully where it is? Yeah. So your angle I1. So I1 is how much, student? Your I1 is how much? That is, if you will see here, this is R1 and this is delta 1, right? So your I1 is R1 plus delta 1, I2 is R2 plus delta 2. I hope so this much concept you are clear. Okay. Now suppose if I will tell you net delta is how much? That is delta 1 plus delta 2, right? So your aim is to find out delta 1 from this one and delta 2 from this one. Can you tell me? Yeah, you see? Your delta 1 is nothing but I1 minus R1. Delta 2 is nothing but I2 minus R2. Okay? So you can put it here as a value. Delta is nothing but delta 1 is how much, friend? I1 minus R1 plus I2 minus R2. Clear? Now you take the common, student. You can take I1 plus I2 minus R1 plus R2. So here you will get the delta value. So this is equation number 1. Okay. Now again move to the diagram, student. See the diagram. If you will see diagram carefully, student, you will see one quadrilateral. What is that? P, M, Q, N. I will repeat the word. A quadrilateral P, M, Q, N. Okay. If you will see the diagram, student, I can take one quadrilateral like this, which is already given in your book. That is P, M, Q, N. Okay, something like this. One ray it is you are seeing. It is going like this. This angle is delta 1. This is R1. This is delta 2. This is R2. Clear? This you can understand this type of quadrilateral which is given in your book. See? Like this. Okay? It's a very shortcut what I am showing to you. So now what happens, student? If it is a quadrilateral, you can consider one angle through the quadrilateral. You see? You see that quadrilateral clearly? Okay. So here, student, two angle is 90 degree. Which one you can tell me? One is APN. Which one is? You can see APN. Okay. So if I will take a long quadrilateral instead of taking M, if I will consider APNQ. Again APNQ. Okay. Suppose I will elongate this diagram like this. So this is your A, this point. So A, P, N, Q. So here, student, in quadrilateral A, P, N, Q, angle, we check it, angle APN. APN is equal to angle ANQ. A is equal to AQN, right? Not ANQ. You can write AQN. Okay? AQN is how much? 90 degree. Now let us find out all the angle. You know the rules of quadrilateral. What is that? The sum of the four angle of the quadrilateral is, student? How much? Can you tell me? Huh? It is 360, okay? So without convincing any more concept, let us focus on this. So you have understood? Means this plus this plus this plus this is 360 degree. But instead going to that part, student, I will show you very simple method. That is angle. Let us consider this triangle. Which one? Triangle PNQ. Okay? Can you see? PNQ. So here R1 we know, R2 we know, but this angle is unknown for you. So we will write angle PNQ plus angle PAQ. Where is PA? One is PNQ, another is PAQ. This is a quadrilateral, okay? So you can write in triangle, not instead of triangle, you will write in quadrilateral, because we cannot take the short chord. Let us go to the long chord. APNQ in quadrilateral AP and Q. One is P and Q, another is A or P A Q. Okay, that is how much sum of the two angles is 180 degree. Means suppose this angle plus this angle is 180 degree, then this plus this angle is 180 degree, means 360 degree. Clear? So I will consider suppose angle N with angle A. So these two angle is sum is 180 degree. So okay, then what I know, that angle PAQ is angle A. You will consider this as angle A. Clear? So I have considered angle A. Now you put the value in place as PAQ. That is angle PNQ plus angle A is 180 degree. So angle PNQ is equal to 180 degree minus angle A. Okay, clear to you? Now this is equation number 2. Clear? Now I will move to the third equation, student. What I have already told you, we will consider one triangle PNQ. PNQ. So we will write in triangle PNQ. What my aim to write? Just already I have told you that angle. Which one is an unknown, student? See, N is unknown. Otherwise, I know R1. This angle as R2, right? So you will write. See, I am writing that angle PNQ means N. I don't know how much is the value. So angle PNQ is equal to 180 degree minus R1 plus R2. Have you understood why I have written, student? Okay, if this one is difficult for you, I will write in the short code angle PNQ plus angle R1 plus angle R2 is equal to 180 degree. I hope so this one you have understood, right? 180 degree, sum of the three angle of a triangle is 180. Now what is PNQ? PNQ is nothing but 180 degree minus R1 plus R2. So this you will consider equation number 3. Clear? Okay. Now what do you know about R1 plus R2? Any idea? No. So what you will write? From equation 2 and 3. Student, what is your equation 2? This you can write 3. This is equation 2. What is that? Angle PNQ is 180 degree minus angle A. So this value you will put comparing. Which one? Comparing equation. Because again I will write for you. It is easy for you. We know that PNQ is how much? 180 degree minus angle A. This I know. फिर again I know PNQ is equal to 180 degree minus R1 plus R2. Now what I will do? I will compare these two. Now we compare it. 180 degree minus A is equal to 180 degree minus R1 plus R2. Now you solve it, student. What you will get? You will get R1 plus R2 is equal to angle A. Clear? Now beforehand what equation I have written? That is delta is equal to delta 1 plus delta 2, and what we have got? I1 plus I2 minus R1 plus R2, which is the first equation, right? So here what I will do, at this position I will put the value A. So it is I1 plus I2 minus A. Delta is equal to I1 plus I2 minus A. So if delta plus A is, student, how much? I1 plus I2. So this you have to remember. Clear? Now one thing I will tell you is the case. Suppose they will tell your angle of incidence is, two angle of incidence is same. Clear? Then what is I1, I2 equal to I? Okay. So suppose two angle is same, incident angle is same, then what shall I write? Delta plus A is equal to 2I. So I is equal to delta plus A by 2. So sometimes this is taken as minimum deviation. Okay. So when prism is small, we can consider this is the angle of incidence. Otherwise, you will remember this one. This is the angle of incidence. So please, you remember, students, sometimes it is asked for problem part minimum deviation, that is minimum deviation. That time you will consider that my I1 equal to I2, that is equal to I. Delta is equal to delta M. Now you put the equation in this form like this, student. As we know, delta plus A is equal to I1 plus I2. I plus I is 2I. In place of delta, you take delta M. So what is your minimum deviation? That is 2I minus A. So this is the one of the important formula which you have to remember for the examination part, because some simple question they will give it to you to solve. So what is the condition minimum deviation? The angle of incidence will be remain same, and in place of delta deviation you will take dm, means minimum deviation. So few triangles, so if they will tell you to draw a graph, student, normally this graph is also sometimes they used to ask what is that minimum deviation versus angle of incidence, and this graph is very surprising, student. Why? You know, because the graph is like this. What does it mean? First, with the increase of angle of incidence, the deviation decreases, but after you are getting the minimum deviation, this is the situation of minimum deviation. If it increase the angle of incidence, the deviation will increase. That's why I have told you this is a important concept. Clear? Means you cannot write this angle of incidence is directly proportional to minimum deviation. Okay? Once you have to write if you first part, if you will increase the angle of incidence, the deviation goes on decreasing. But when it crosses the minimum deviation, then with the increase of angle of incidence, the deviation also increases. So please remember this concept. You cannot tell that angle of incidence is directly proportional to deviation. First increasing, then it is decreases. Clear? So some question it is also asked on which factor that your deviation or refractive index will depend upon. So one thing you remember, I must tell you, first you will write what is that dependence. First student, first you will write the concept as dependence of angle of deviation, right, on the material of the wire, material of the prism, right? Wire, I have a habit to tell wires, but it is prism, okay? Prism. So how angle of deviation depend upon the material of the prism, student? Directly. You can tell directly. What does it mean directly, student? It means what? Higher is the refractive index, higher is the refractive index, greater is the deviation. Higher is the refractive index, greater is the deviation. Okay, so if you will increase the refractive index, student, the deviation is automatically increases. Understood? Okay. Now we will move to the second point. How it depend on the angle of prism. Who? Deviation, angle of prism. So sometimes the heading we are writing there, the factor affecting. If you will go to the simple, if you want to write factor affecting angle of deviation, or you can write on factor on which angle of deviation depend upon. So first you come to know angle of deviation depend upon the material of the prism, means greater is the refractive index, greater is the deviation. Okay, and second is, student, how deviation depend upon angle of prism. Angle of prism. It's very simple, student. The formula del equal to 2i minus a you have written angle of prism. So you will write that deviation is directly proportional to angle of prism. Means if you will increase the angle of prism, deviation will increases. Okay. And third point is, student, deviation depend upon the color, means wavelength. Okay. So how deviation depend upon the wavelength, student? You will write deviation is inversely proportional to wavelength. Okay, means the wavelength, suppose red color is very simple. Red color has more wavelength, student. So what happened to deviation? Least deviation. Very clear. The wavelength is more, deviation is least, which you have to remember. Clear? So these are the three very important points which you have to remember. Clear to you? Then I will move to, student, next concept, that is critical angle and total internal refraction. Okay, so one is a critical angle and second topic is total internal refraction. So what do you mean by critical angle? First of all, you have to understand that part. Then you will go to the TIR, that is total internal reflection. So first we will go to the critical angle. What is a critical angle, student? The angle of incidence in which the angle of incidence in the better to write in the denser medium corresponding to which the angle of refraction in the rare medium is 90. So it is if I will tell, this is something what I have written is a concept of definition, but in real sense, if you want to understand, student, first you should understand what is the situation when you can create a critical angle. So first of all, the ray of light travel from denser to rarer. This is the first criteria. Means you will take your ray of light. Means what is ray of light? Means incident light. So the incident light should travel from denser to rarer. This is the first criteria which you have to satisfy for critical angle. Okay. So suppose this is my surface, this is air, and this is water. You just imagine. Okay. Now what do one normal line, student? Normally what we take? We take a ray of light from air to glass, but or water, anything. But in critical angle, you will consider the incident ray should go through the denser medium. This is the first condition which you have to satisfy. The incident ray should travel from denser to rare medium. Now it is travel. Now you know refraction phenomena should be there. But what happens, student? The refracted light just falling to the surface. Means it is not completely go to the air, or it is not completely refracting back to water. Okay. Means it making a 90-degree, student, with the surface of air. Clear? And we can consider this one as it is moving in air. I cannot consider it is moving in the denser medium. It is moving in the rare medium. That is our consider we have to do. So understood? First of all, you have to consider your incident light should be in denser medium, and your refracted light. This is the refracted light which is travel in the rare medium. Okay. And when it making normal, means 90-degree with your perpendicular axis, that is a critical